All right. I was discussing that this is the result of 0.50 range or quartile range because by default the quartile regression runs on 0.50. So you can see here that real growth is significant at this level, and exchange rate is also significant at this level, while the inflation is negatively but weakly significant because the p-value is around significant at 7%, which is near about 10%. So this is the basic command that you should run for simple quartile regression, but it is not a panel data command. It is a simple quartile regression command. So what we need to do, we need to consider if we need robust results, we just need to add VCE robust with this command. So we again run the same command and we include comma VCE and robust. All right. So what has happened with the results? If you see the results, they are slightly changed. Previously, the log of inflation was significant at 7%, but now it is highly significant. It is significant at 5%. The p-value is approximately 3.5%. So the result has changed if we consider the robust estimate, while the real growth rate and exchange rate, their p-values approximately are same. They are highly significant, but the other values does not change. So, what if we want the quartile regression at any other level? This is the simply the 50% level quartile regression. But if we want the quartile regression at any other level, what we need to do? We need to provide a comma with the same commands that we have run previously. Provide a comma, and then you need to write quartile. Now I need to tell here at which quartile I want to run this command. So let's suppose I want to run this command at first quartile. 25% is considered as a first quartile. So it will run the command. Let me see what has happened. QREG DV IV quartile. Quantile. This is basically quantile, not quartile. So I need to run this command again. Quantile. Quantile. Now it will run the command. So this is the result with uh, first quantile. It means at 25%, it is indicating an R square or P shadow R square of 1.9%. And if you see here, the sustainable economic growth is weakly significant here. And real growth rate is not significant here, while previously it was significant. Exchange rate is also significant, weakly significant, and you can also see the constant term is also significant. Previously, at 50% quantile, they are giving the different result. So let's suppose I run the same command with another quartile or third quartile. Let's suppose it is 75%. So what will happen with the result? If you see here, the R square has increased. Previously, it was 1 point something, 1.9%. Previously, it was 1.9% when you run quantile at 25% or first quantile, it was 1.9%. But when we run it at 75% quantile, it has become 7%. And if you can see, the results are much better than previously. Here, trade openness is also highly significant. Real growth rate is also highly significant. Exchange rate is also highly significant, but inflation rate is not significant here. Constant is also not giving any coefficient value. And if you can see here, the p-value of the constant is also not uh, significant at any level. So what if we want to run uh, quartile regression at different levels? Always remember that simple quartile regression does not run with multiple quantile at the same time. Always remember. If you run the command, if you run this command with multiple quantile at the same time, it will give you error. So what is the solution of this type of issue? Before discussing the simultaneous quantile regression, let me show you another addition in this command, that is bootstrap standard error quantile regression, that will basically give you the robust estimates of your regression. So bootstrap qrec command, you need to run the similar command without any quartile, and you need to add here bs before qrec. BS for bootstrap quartile regression. If you run this command, it will give you the results like this. So it is giving you 2% R square. And if you see here, it is the bootstrap results. It is giving you bootstrap results. Sometimes your professor or your supervisor may ask you to provide you bootstrap quartile regression results. In that case, you just need to add BS before QREC in order to provide the bootstrap result. In that case, you don't need to include here the robust estimates because it is already bootstrap the standard errors. So these are the robust estimates actually. So the next command where you can run simultaneously multiple quantiles at a time, that is sqrec, which is known as simultaneous quantile regression. So it is also a simple procedure. What you need to do, you need to set a seed value of this. This is basically required before running this command. So you need to set a seed value before running this command in order to validate your estimate. So you need to put it here, and you need to run basically your simultaneous quantile regression. So the procedure is simple. You need to add only S with QREC. So you need to put here the QREC command, and you need to place S before QREC. Now you can add here multiple quartile at a time. For example, I want to consider 25%, 0.50 and 0.75 at a time. I want to see what are the quantile regression result at 25%, 50% and 0.75 at a time. So this command will run simultaneously at three different quantiles. You cannot run the quantile regression with multiple quantiles more than three, but it facilitates panel data with multiple quantiles. You can run as many as quantile with panel data command. So with simple quantile regression, you can run only three quantiles at a time. So let me run this command. It will provide you basically the quantile regression at first quantile, second quantile, and third quantile. You can see simultaneously the results. The R square at first quantile is 1.9%. The R square at second quantile is approximately 2%. The R square at third quantile is approximately 7.1%. So these are the R square that you can indicate in your results. So here you can see at first quantile, the sustainable economic growth is highly significant, but the remaining variable are not significant here at first quantile. And the constant is also significant here. But if you see the second quantile, here sustainable economic growth, trade openness, they both are not significant. Constant is also not significant, but uh, the real growth and exchange rate and inflation rate, they are significant here at second quantile. While in case of third quantile, if you see here, trade openness is highly significant, real growth rate is highly significant, and exchange rate is highly significant here. And constant is not significant here, inflation is not significant here. So third quantile provides much better result in terms of significance of your independent variable. So we can see here that third quantile provides much better indication of the results. So what we need to do next, Stata also performs interquartile regression. If you want to compare both two of the estimates, interquartile range mean when you subtract the third quartile from the when you subtract the first quartile from the third quartile. It is known as interquartile range. Sometimes your supervisor or your professor requires you to consider interquartile regression with quartile regression. In that case, you just need to put I before QRET, and you need to put your first quartile and your third quartile, and it will give you the difference of both of these. Sometimes the regression becomes significant at interquartile rate. So what we need to do, we need to provide the, the same command with addition of I. So IQREC, and you need to consider only first quartile and third quartile here. So you just need to enter quartile. All right. I need to see whether we have need to provide space. You need to provide the space. You need to consider the space. If you see here at 75% or at third quartile, it is 7% R square. At first quartile, it is 1.9% R square. And if you see here, the interquartile range gives you results sustainable economic growth negatively and highly significant, and constant term is also highly significant. So this is the result of interquartile regression. Now, what we need to do if we need to consider a panel quartile regression, always remember, in order to apply the panel quartile regression, first of all, you need to declare your data set to be panel. So I need to write here xt set ID and years, and then I need to run the command xtqrect dv iv and then quartile. You can provide as many quartile as you want. There is no condition of providing only 3 quartile. You can provide as many quartile as you want here, because the panel quartile regression allows you to run this. So simply xt qrect, and then you need to provide the dv, and then you need to provide the iv one by one in this way, and then comma quartile quantile, sorry, quantile, and you can run as many as quartiles as you want. For example, I want to run quartile at every 10%. So it will give me a much better outlook of the results like this. So I can run at every 10%. What would be the impact of my independent variable for my dependent variables? So these are the quartiles that I have provided. All right. 90% is the maximum value, because at 100% it may give me it is saying that this command is unrecognized. So what I need to do, ssc install xtqrex. So it will install the software package, and then we will be able to run this command. Installation is complete. Now we need to run this